Welcome to episode 1 of the PowerStart Podcast. Episode 1, kicking things off with a good friend of mine, Nick Denis. We chatted for about 2 hours, I think. Nick, for anybody who doesn't know him, is a former UFC fighter, former King of the Cage champion, former number 1 ranked bantamweight, number 1 ranked featherweight in Canada. He owns one of the most sickest knockouts of all time when he choke slammed, I think it was Nick Matthias. We talked about everything from COVID to technology, facial recognition, what he's working on now. If you're more interested in our mixed martial arts related talk and his career, that was more closer to the last 25 minutes of the podcast, I'd say. But overall, I had a really great time. It was good talking to him. It's been a while since we've seen each other. But yeah, without further ado, my good friend, the ninja of love himself, Mr. Nick Denis. Mr. Nick Denis,
Straight up.
so happy to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I miss you, man.
I miss you too.
I had to start a podcast just to get you to come over.
That's what it takes.
So how you been, man? How's it feel like to be a dad?
Life has been good. Feels great to be a dad. Yeah. Marcus is 2 years and some change. It's awesome. It goes by fast. Yeah.
Have I seen you since you had your kid?
To be quite honest, I can't remember the last time I saw you. So I don't know.
Oh, it's been that long. I'm trying
It's
to
been a long
think.
time. I always think about contacting the old Ronin crew, the old guys, and like get together for whatever reason. I thought during the COVID times when I wanted to start working out, to like do like a outdoor workout, because I still have pads and stuff like that. Just life is so busy.
It's tough, man. Well, especially with like COVID and shit, right? Like everything's crazy right now. Because I don't think I've seen any of the old Ronin guys since this whole shit went down.
I see
I'm trying to
Moose
think.
every now and then
Yeah.
because there's we live very close to each other, and and his son goes to daycare like 50 meters from like a park, and we go to that park all the time. So
Yeah.
they'll stop by after the park or whatever.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, yeah, you guys live really close, right?
We live close.
Oh, but Daryl is around there too, no?
Daryl lives really close, but I don't see him.
Yeah. How dare he? Eh?
How dare he?
How dare he? Yeah, I think actually, you know what? I think just before the whole COVID thing went down, and we went go karting, and Daryl and
Okay,
his wife came out.
cool.
That was good. Yeah. What else is new, man? Just working, living
Life
the dream.
is family and work and stuff like that.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
still training at all?
My brother comes over a few days a week, like weekdays in the morning, and we work out in my basement. Like just throw on a YouTube workout,
Yeah.
body weight stuff, interval training stuff. That's basically
Like a body break. Body
That's
break.
pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Those workouts are great.
Nice. Well, you were doing the kickboxing thing for a while, right? Like you're running.
That ended at least a year ago,
Yeah.
but I wasn't training then. Like I was just running class.
Just running the classes. So the classes you're running, that was out of your
My
brother's?
brother's
Yeah.
taekwondo school. Yeah, in
Okay.
the basement.
So is that still running or?
No, he had to close down. He had 3 locations. He had to close them down too. Yeah.
Mm.
We're running.
So you had 3 locations, you said?
Yeah, he had like 3 taekwondo schools. One in Almont,
Mm.
one in Orleans, and then one of his students opened up a school like with him in like northern Quebec or something.
Okay. Right on. Like way out north Quebec?
Yeah, like in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because a lot of the martial arts places have closed down, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I don't know what you see around you or how many local businesses are affected out here, but like when I'm driving in Orleans, like down like there's a main strip, St. Joseph, and you see places for lease and closed up. It's really shitty to see. Like, I can't imagine for the martial arts schools. I know some of them do like Zoom classes.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you know
Like New Era is doing that for a bit. Actually, I
Yeah.
think they're still doing it. I think they're still doing the online classes,
yeah.
but it's
I wouldn't pay money to do an online martial arts class.
yeah, it's tough, man. Like I have mixed feelings on it. Like I think it's cool to do something's better than nothing, right?
Yep.
especially if you're like not motivated to go do like other physical activity. But yeah, it's been tough for me, man, because I'm pretty physically active for the most part, and I was still doing jujitsu like every once in a while, like a couple times a week. And essentially, I turned that to like zero. Like I think maybe in like February, I went to roll like once, and that's about it.
Yep.
But now I'm addicted to arm wrestling. That's
Okay.
different.
Cool.
Yeah, no, it's weird, man.
Mm.
It's the way like I think it's like one of those things where you don't have a girlfriend for a really long time, and then all of a sudden a girl is willing to put out, and you fall in love with her. You know,
That's what arm wrestling is.
I feel like that's what it's like for me, right?
Okay.
But it's man, I'm like obsessed with it. It's crazy. I feel like it's a lot of similarities with jujitsu. I find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot
Believe
of
it or not.
shrimping.
A lot of shrimp. Yeah. Shrimp
Are there
back.
escapes?
No, but it's just like because it's not as simple as just bringing your arm sideways.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
lot of like technique and like gripping and like back pressure, side pressure, and like different positions in your hand where you're rolling. Yeah.
Sounds identical to jujitsu.
You know what? It sounds dumb when I'm saying it,
Yeah.
but if you know what, I'll bring you out one of these days.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
probably not, but
yeah,
I'm glad you like it.
it's cool, man. No, it's
Yeah.
cool. But do you have any plans on training again still or anything?
I'm doing what I'm doing, and I have like a stationary bike. Like I have my outside bike that's set up as a stationary bike, and I bike and I like watch tutorials of it, whatever online while I'm doing that, or I even do it at work. There's like a presentation.
Mm-hmm.
I basically spend the hour just biking while watching the presentation or whatever. And
So you get pumped. That's what you're pumped. Instead of listening to like hard music, you're like, yeah, presentation.
no, I'm just watching the presentation. There's no music. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Well, working from home, I think has been pretty good for me. The essentially saves me 2 hours of driving a day.
It's a lot of driving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I wasn't driving. I was taking LRT
Mm.
from one end to the other, and it was more or less 2 hours a day. I used that time to read, so now I'd read a lot less. But yeah, being at home is way better.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I miss like interacting with people throughout the day,
Yeah.
but I get some of that because I got my family running around here like crazy. But it's not the same. Like it's good to see other people. Like it's nice to see you, man.
Yep.
It's nice to see you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tatiana at school, or is she doing it from home?
She's at school.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Because we're out here. I think we're a bit isolated. So I think the likeliness of like a COVID breakout at our school happening, I think it's pretty low. But like we'll see what happens, I guess, right? But I don't think schools have been really affected that much, have they?
I don't know. Depends, I guess, where. But I know it's really inconvenient. So even if you just have some symptoms, like regular cold symptoms, right?
Yeah.
It's a whole big thing where you have to stay at home. You have to go get tested. And that's super annoying. Like my son at daycare, it's the same thing except it's not. It's only like 5 kids.
Yeah.
But some kids were sick, so they all have to stay home and go get tested. Marcus hasn't had to get tested yet. Daycare provider was sick, so she had to get tested. So the daycare is closed until they get the test results back. So there's pros and cons to that too, because I get to spend more time with Marcus.
Yeah.
But yeah, like especially like we haven't even hit December yet, and like kids just like get colds.
Well, yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, I think now every kid's gonna have a runny nose, right?
yeah.
So like what? And it sucks because they have to wear. I think it depends on the age, but they have to wear masks at school.
Yep.
So it's like, I don't know if your nose is running, and you're constantly in a mask. Now you're spreading boogers like over the inside of your mask, right? And now it's like, I don't know, you like lick your lips, and now the inside of the mask has boogers, and now you got boogers in your lips, and it's like, what? Like, I don't know, man. I think it's bad. I think it's gonna be worse, right?
I think if you have symptoms, you're not supposed to go to school. I think that's what you're supposed. That's the deal.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're just out in the cold,
Yeah.
right? Like you're gonna get a runny nose. At least I do.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then you go inside, you still have a runny nose. Put the mask on,
Yeah.
and then you have a booger mask now.
That's life. That's life right now, I guess.
Yeah, I can't wait for it to get back to normal.
Oh man.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
You been watching any fighting at all?
No, I don't watch. I can't remember the last time I watched like a UFC or something like that.
You watching the fights tonight?
Who's fighting tonight?
Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I had no idea that was a thing.
dude.
Yeah.
Wow. It's
I won't watch it. Maybe I'll watch. I'm sure there'll be something on YouTube tomorrow where they both gas in the first 20 seconds and then they lean on each other and circle around the ring. How old are
yeah,
they? They must be in their 50s. How old are they? They have to be in their 50s.
yeah.
Mike Tyson was old when I was like 20 and he did. That's when he, I think that's when he bit whoever he bit.
Holyfield.
Okay.
Yeah. That
And they were
was.
like they were past their prime then. That was 15 years ago.
No, I think he was still Tyson was still in his prime when he bit Holyfield's
15
ear.
years ago?
Yeah, he's
I
hungry.
don't think so, man.
He's hungry then.
He's hungry, yeah. And his prime was like before me.
Well, yeah, no, I think Tyson is. Well, I'm just looking it up right now. I'm looking up his wiki. So yeah, dude,
How
Mike
old is he?
Tyson is 54 years
There
old.
you go.
54. So then Roy Jones is a bit younger though, I think, right?
I have no idea.
Let's see, how old is Roy Jones? Roy Jones Jr. So he is 51. So you've got a combined age of 105 years. It's I'm still gonna watch it though.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch it.
Pay-per-view? Like, are you gonna
Uh,
pay to watch it?
I have a buddy of mine. He's got it at his place, but yeah, I
Okay.
think it's like $50 or something. Yeah, and I don't know if it. You know what? I haven't looked into the details. I don't know if it's just that fight or if they have like an undercard. But even if it's just that fight, whatever, I'll watch it. Because I don't even know how many rounds they're doing. I think they're doing 2 or 3 minute rounds. And I think it might only
Like
be
8 minutes rest in between.
8 minutes.
Spread out over a few weeks.
Yeah, no, actually, wouldn't that be awesome? It's like every day, one round. But no, I think it's 5 rounds, and I think they're like 2 or 3 minute rounds.
Okay.
I think, or it might even be 3 rounds. You know what? 3 rounds probably makes more sense.
3 rounds, that's it? That's
Wait.
crazy.
50 years old,
Well,
right?
I mean,
Like even though it's Mike Tyson, I feel like because I've seen videos of him like hitting mitts and stuff, but they make sure that they cut the segments down to like 5-second clips, right? So I'm excited to see what happens. But apparently they're saying I read somewhere that they're not allowed to knock each other out.
what does that even mean?
Yeah, I don't know because it's a Mike Tyson fight, right? Like, but like Roy Jones still looks like he's in decent shape too for like 51, right? And I'm sure they're taking like vitamins and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I think Tyson was saying that he wants to, because it's an exhibition fight. It's not
Okay.
going to be a full-on one.
Oh, thank God.
But I guess Tyson was saying that he wants to fight like a bunch of current like ranked fighters in these exhibition fights too.
Yeah.
So he's talking about having ones with like Tyson Fury or something like that too. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'm
Yep.
excited to see what happens. I just want to
Sure.
see Mike Tyson fight.
Sure.
Even if he's 100 years old, I'd still watch it.
Yeah. Why not?
What about the UFC? You been following any of the fights at all?
No, I still go on like the underground, so I still check the results, but I don't recognize many of the names and almost all the, if not all the champions. I probably have never seen fight once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I couldn't tell you who the champions are.
I think I know. Like I don't follow it as much either anymore, but I think like Adesanya, he's the 185 champ. 170 is Usman, I think, right? 205 was John Jones. No, yeah, it was John Jones, but I think he's moving to heavyweight now, so I don't think they have a champ. And at heavyweight, it's Stipe Miocic. So I think, yeah, and I think the girls, I think they just recently all flipped. So I don't know who the champs are.
I have no idea.
No, that's too bad.
Yeah, I'll see a card and like I don't, I might know a couple names, but the names that I do know, they're past their prime now and they're good.
Yeah. Well, McGregor's still fighting, right? He's got to fight.
Is he?
Up. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he never had a prime.
Whoa! I don't know. I think he had his moments.
I mean, he's entertaining to watch because he can sell a fight.
Yeah.
I could care less.
He's gonna call you out now. He's be like, Nick, who the fuck is that guy? I'll fight him.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. No, I think he's fighting Poirier because I think they were gonna have like a a boxing fight or something,
Okay.
and then I guess something happened, and now they're having an MMA fight, and it's probably going to be for the vacant 55 title because Khabib's not fighting anymore, right?
Right. I read that.
So I don't know. Think you could beat Khabib?
No, I'm an old man, out of shape. I haven't trained in like a decade
So
or something.
has it been 10 years?
I don't know. I think I stopped fighting at 28, so 9 years. Yeah, a long time.
Dude.
I think I've done jujitsu a total of. I think I went and trained with the Ronin guys, uh, maybe 2 times, and then I think I got a group of guys together for a couple morning sessions. Some buddies from school, Daryl and Moose, for 2 sessions, and I got injured each time, and then I stopped. So that's all I've
Nice.
trained.
Well, we did a little bit for Moose's wedding there, right?
That's right, but I
Yeah.
don't know. Did I train? Maybe I thought I maybe
You did,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
but that was Muay Thai, wasn't that?
Oh, no, what did we do? I think we played basketball,
Yeah.
and then I think we did Muay Thai, and then we did like a
jujitsu?
circuit
Okay.
and stuff, right?
Circuit. Okay.
Yeah, what a great. And then we went to the Nordic Spa.
That was fun.
That
was
was-
really fun.
yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we ran into one of my wife's friends,
Okay.
and apparently she told Nicole saying that we were just being crazy loud and
Nordic Spa.
yeah,
That's great.
yeah. Well, because the guys the guys walking around that kept coming to us and like shushing us when we were in like the cold pool.
You
Eventually,
know
we had
what?
to
I
move.
don't think I went to the Nordic Spa. I think I was only able to do half the thing. I
Oh,
don't
so
think I
you-
was able to go to the Nordic Spa.
Oh, okay.
Because actually I have no memory of that. But I do remember the working out and the basketball. And
Yeah, it was good. It was a good time.
Yeah.
I miss Moose. I haven't seen him in a while either. It's been a minute. You know what? That's what we gotta do. We gotta get all those guys together,
right.
and we'll just rage.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do like Mike Tyson. Get the old crew back together at 50.
Dude, we should legit. We should all get together.
Do one more block KO.
Yeah.
Do one more round of sparring.
Dude, legit.
30-second rounds.
Yeah, 20-second rounds.
20-second rounds.
Yeah. Dude, we legit. No, honestly, legit. We should get like all the old MMA guys together, and then we'll get like I don't know, we'll get some gym time somewhere.
Yeah.
And then we should legit just spar for like an hour.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't know. I think it'd be fun.
Or we could just go to Nordic Spa.
We could do that.
That sounds pretty good to me.
See, I think it'd be fun now because I think none of us could probably hurt each other at this point.
Too tired. Too
Yeah.
tired.
It totally reminds me of I think it was right when Moose stopped training for a bit and then he
Okay.
put on some weight, and I was not training because I had the ankle surgery.
Okay.
And then me and him came back. I think it was both of our first times like sparring in like probably like a year, and we were so gassed. I remember he was like we were both kind of like bent over, like kind of grabbing our knees, and Moose was looking at me like breathing, but the timer hadn't gone yet, so I was like. And I watched it one time as we're kind of like sitting over, and he's looking at me like, "Fuck you." I guess like my favorite memory of like all time.
Cool.
Because you remember Moose was like a cardio machine, right?
Cardio machine.
Yeah. So the fact that I had enough energy to get the last bunch
Yeah.
in.
He's like Nick Diaz. Just
Yeah.
like nonstop pressure, nonstop going, keeps going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss the old days. Do you miss it at all ever?
It was fun, man.
Yeah.
So I miss it in the sense that I have good memories of it, but I
Yeah.
don't miss it in the sense that I want to go back to it.
No. No,
I'm
not even a
too
little.
old for that shit.
Not even a little bit.
I have no desire. Like you need to be hungry
Yeah.
to put yourself through that kind of stuff. I'm not hungry.
What if somebody was like, Nick, give you $10,000,
$10,000 to do what?
$100,000
To do what?
to fight somebody?
You need to do it.
So how much money?
I don't know. But if I were just to do that, I probably just wouldn't train, and I would just tap out right away. Like I don't give a shit. Like, let the internet, throw names at me. Who cares? I just got $100 million or whatever.
No, but if you had to actually fight.
I
So
had to actually fight.
So what would be the number? Like $500,000. Somebody was like $500,000. You have to fight. I don't know, like a top 10 guy.
I don't know, man. I'd have to think about it. It'd have to be like enough money to super retire, to like retire all my family, because I should assume the worst, that I'd get like a really bad concussion.
Yeah.
Uh,
Move the mic a little bit.
Sure. Good.
audio. Yeah.
But realistically, nah, I'm not interested.
$1 million.
No, I don't know. I don't know, man. These are make believe things.
Yeah.
You know, I'll do it. I'll do it for $100 million.
I don't know. If somebody's like, here's $2 million, you'd do it. You'd fucking do it.
I don't know.
I would do it.
$2 million. I'm not desperate for money, so I don't know.
Yeah, but you could buy 20 Cybertrucks. for $2 million.
Cybertrucks?
Yeah.
What's a Cybertruck?
Dude, you haven't seen a Cybertruck?
I don't know. No.
Okay, I'll put one up. I'll try. I'll have to edit the video to pull one up. But it's
Okay.
it's the
Is it
new
self-driving truck?
I think it has self-driving. It's a Tesla, right here. I'll pull it up right now.
It's like a truck, like a pickup truck?
Yeah, it's a truck, but it's it's electric powered, and it looks like an N64 car. Yeah.
They call that a truck?
Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, it's Cybertruck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Dude, I don't know. So it's essentially, I don't think it's bulletproof, but it's made out of like titanium or something crazy. But like there was videos of them hitting it with like a hammer, and they couldn't dent it. But then I guess they were throwing like these giant metal ball bearings at the windows, and the windows did smash. They weren't supposed to, I guess.
I guess when I think of cars, I don't think of can I throw giant metal ball bearings at them, and not really a priority for me.
You don't think it looks cool?
It's unique. I'm sure the price tag immediately makes it unattractive, but
Yeah, I think there's like, I think there's base models. I think you can get closer to like 60 or 80, but I think if you're gonna get the one that makes sense, it's like $100,000.
that makes sense.
I don't know. I think it'd be cool as hell. I don't know.
I'm not a car person. I don't
Yeah.
I don't get excited over cars.
Yeah.
I don't care. Yeah.
Well, at some point I'm gonna get one. So
Cool.
it might be 80 years from now when
Yeah.
they're like $5 used
Yeah,
in like a
yeah.
junkyard.
Sure.
But yeah, no, I think it's cool as hell because it's like, I'm trying to remember. I don't remember all the stats now, but it's electric motor, right? So you have a crazy fast acceleration because you have like pretty much instant access to power.
Okay.
Because the drivetrains, I guess, work different.
Okay.
It's all-wheel drive, and I think the upper models get like 600 kilometers to charge or something like that,
Okay.
600 to 800, which is more than most of the electric vehicles now, right? Because for me, that's like, I think having an electric vehicle would be cool, but the big stopping factor is like, yeah, you can't really go that far without charging it, right? Because I know people that have driven them from like Toronto to here, and they have to stop twice and wait for
Where
like,
do they charge them? Do
there's charging station.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, depending on the car you have, I think it's like 40 minutes to an hour
yeah.
that you got to wait. So Toronto to here is already like a gazillion hours.
Yeah.
Now you add 2 stops to that you have to take.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah. Because being on the highway and you run out of electricity, like how do you boost it? Right? Wonder
Yeah.
if like tow trucks will come by and like
Bring a
have a generator
Yeah.
and boost you on the side of the highway.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound fun. Especially like I looked into many moons ago,
Mhm.
like almost 10 years ago, I looked into like, what it would take to rig a house to be solar panel, self-sufficient, like off the grid or whatever. And I remember doing the research, at least then, like the battery banks or whatever you'd call them that store the electricity. It's really shitty for Canada because of our temperature. Like
Mhm.
the cold really drains electricity. So I imagine that it must be the same for cars. So I imagine it must be worse off and less, makes less sense in Canada. Like imagine a cold winter and all of a sudden your batteries just drain to whatever just because it's cold.
Yeah, it's tough. And I think in Canada in winter we still have a reliance on like natural gas and stuff like that for heating because it just makes more sense, right? Because of stuff like that. But I think batteries are getting better now, right?
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they get better like every year, every couple of years.
Yeah. Because it would be cool to have like, yeah, like a house that's all solar panels that has like 2 or 3 batteries, and then you're able to be like 99% off the grid, right?
Yeah, as long as it makes, for me, like economical sense, like
Yeah.
to pay through my ass for that, I'm not interested.
Take that $2 million fight, Nick.
Then I can get solar panels on my house.
Yeah, there you go.
And a Cybertruck. This is your...
You could get 10 Cybertrucks.
Yeah.
And then still have $1 million to spend on a solar panel house.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm in.
There you go,
Give
man.
me the contract.
All
I'm
right.
in.
Okay, UFC. Call Nick right now. $2 million.
That's it.
Who could you fight? Fight McGregor, man.
Doesn't matter. Yeah,
There you
for
go.
sure, McGregor.
You can't just top out though.
That's right.
You can't tap out. I think you have to put some weight on that. What do you weigh now?
How could I tap out to McGregor?
What do you weigh now?
I weigh like 175.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm no longer a bantamweight. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd have to cut to get to welterweight.
you could do it. You cut 5 pounds. I
Oh
believe
yeah,
in you.
of course. I mean, I wake up at probably like 173 or
Okay. Yeah, you put on a little bit less weight than me.
something. I went up to 185 or 180 something, and I was like, oh, I need a change. I need a change. So I've kind of went up and down like 10, 15, 20 pounds almost.
That's still not too bad though.
No, it's not that bad.
Yeah, because you're not that short, right? You're like
Short.
5'6", 5'7",
Yeah.
6'5",
6'6".
6'6".
I don't know. It depends.
That's on the stats, the
Yeah.
wiki stats.
Depends how much
6'6".
yoga I do because it's like elongates my spine. So somewhere between 6'5", 6'6".
That's the secret. So if
Yeah.
I want to be 6'6", I gotta do yoga.
Right. Right. You know, when I did hardcore yoga for like a good, I don't know, year or whatever, and I did a physical, I went up to 5'8", and I was like, what? I've always been like 5'7". 5'8". Okay, sure.
Sure, it wasn't a broken ruler.
It wasn't me taking it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's okay. So that's the secret then. I need to do more yoga, less deadlifts, more yoga.
That's right.
Yeah, because I'm short.
Yeah. I find as I get older, I need to do more stretching, but I don't have time for stretching. And it's also kind of boring. Like I'm not.
Yeah, and I realized the same thing, and I even bought. I don't know if you saw it. It's in the construction zone in there. I have like a karate stretching machine.
Oh man, that's great. I used to
Yeah.
have one
Yeah.
where I was teaching my classes. I'd crank it up, crank, and I just sit there. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I was using it for a while, but then one day, I did it first thing in the morning, and I think I cranked it a little too hard, and I was walking around through the day, and I was like, "Oh, something feels wrong." And then the next day when I woke up, I had a really hard time like opening my legs. I kind of really, I really frigged something up, and I haven't really used it as much since because now I'm scared. But yeah, I'm not flexible. I feel like the last 2 years, because I was never really that flexible, but I feel like the last 2 years, I've like really stiffened up. Doesn't sound right the way I said that, but I've really like lost a lot of
yeah.
flexibility. I feel like mostly my legs, like my arms, not so much, but like my neck and my legs for sure. But I actually started seeing a chiropractor for my neck
Okay.
because I pinched something, and I never used to believe in chiropractors. But before, it used to be like when I turned my head like this far,
Mhm.
it would really like be tight. Like I could maybe get it to here normally, but now I feel like I can move my neck like an extra like inch or two. I don't really know other than backing up my car. I don't know when that comes in useful, but
Whatever works, man.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I know for me, like, I don't care so much now about strength or things like that, like getting super strong. But for me, it's like if I go play on the ground or like I'm crawling under the table or whatever
Normal
with my
neck
son
stuff.
or whatever, we're
Yeah.
playing with my son, you know. If I don't feel like limber, like I'm always moaning. I gotta pick up something off the ground. That's when I feel old.
Nice. So I'm totally gonna edit one of the questions that I'm gonna ask you, and then just have that. Yeah, or that'll be like the screen cap of the of the podcast.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah. No, I think that's. I don't know. I think it's good to be able to be more flexible and keep up the activity. Well, especially since you have kids, right? Like right now. Well, I guess your son's 2 now. Once he gets to probably about like 6 to 8, he's gonna start wanting to be more active and like going around playing soccer and stuff. So I don't know. I feel like if I wasn't able to do that stuff with my daughter, I'd feel kind of bad. Right?
You don't want to.
Yeah. You don't want to be that dad that's like sitting on the soccer field like, all right, Kick again, kid. Yeah, kick it towards me.
Oh, it's already like that. Marcus loves it when I throw him up in the air. So I'm basically doing like dumbbell swings or kettlebell swings. I squat down and then I throw him up, and I squat down. I'm
Yeah.
like exploding up, and I'm doing that over and over again. Okay, I have to put. Daddy has to breathe now. No, Daddy has to breathe.
Do you ever take videos of you throwing them up?
No.
Because yeah, I've seen there was somebody who was in a park
Okay.
and they like edited the video like when they're throwing their kid up in the air, and they edited to make it look like he was throwing the kid like 30 feet. And I guess they showed it to like the guy's wife afterwards. She's
Right.
like, "Ah!" But yeah, no, Tatiana's like, oh, she's at the point now I could probably still throw her up in the air,
Yeah.
but
How old is she?
she's 10 now.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
like grade 6, 5.
5. Yeah, it's crazy. Like
Crazy.
literally the other day, well, it was just her birthday just passed, and I almost forgot what grade she was in. I was like, she had like grade like 2. I'm like, wait, no, she's grade 5. Like I feel like the last like 3 years, whatever, of like her like growing and stuff, it just passed like that. It's crazy. I don't know. I feel like life is passing me by.
Yeah, it gets faster and faster.
Yeah.
Faster and faster.
So I feel like I just want to have more kids, right?
You want to have another kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. You,
Oh yeah, we're trying. Yeah,
Yeah?
for sure. I'd like to have a million kids.
dude,
Yeah, having kids is the best. Man.
dude,
There's
it's
nothing better.
so much fun.
Yeah.
I get Wade now. I get why he's got so many kids.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wait, Wade's got what? 3, 4?
Three
Three?
daughters.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to have, I think at least one more at a minimum. But like life goals would be like a soccer team. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in high school, I had like, we made those like stupid like life goal, like bucket list things.
Sure, why not?
For whatever reason, I remember I found it like not too long ago. I had this bucket list thing from like, might have been grade school, might have been like grade 8, but it was have one kid from every ethnic background. That was
Is it a kid or have sex with?
I just read the list. I don't remember writing it. And I was like one kid from every ethnic background. I was like, all right, that'd be cool.
Better get started.
Yeah, little Samoan Matthias,
Yeah.
little Chinese Matthias.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Do it.
Yeah. So I don't think Nicole's down with it, but so I would have been in grade 8. How old are you in grade 8? Like 13?
Like that.
Yeah, it's like 13, 14-year-old Matthias. That was his life
Good
goal.
life goal.
Good life goal.
You let down previous Matthias.
I still got time.
You
Still have time.
still have time. Yeah.
But what's next for you, man?
More of this.
More of this?
With it. Family, working, side projects, trying to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's work?
Work is good, man. I like work. Working at StatCan.
Yeah?
Yep. A little different from fighting, but no, it's all good. Working from home is, like we already said, it's got its pros and cons. I also like to interact with people and random things like chatting, overhearing a conversation, walking over and talking.
Yeah.
Can't do that. But working at home is good. Yeah, no, it's nice.
Good.
Yeah.
So what are you doing at StatsCan? Like, what's your like job description?
We are at I'm in the data science division, senior data scientist. Basically, I'm like a machine learning ninja. So I work on all sorts of cool things. I worked on 2 projects, still working on one for COVID. So
It's your fault.
Pretty much. The one I'm working on now is modeling like reopening office specific for office buildings.
Okay.
Different sized office buildings, modeling reopenings like that. Then I did like learning optimal mitigation strategies, like social distancing kind of strategies to minimize the impact of spread of COVID.
Okay.
And other stuff.
Feel like it keeps dropping down, or is it just me?
I don't know. I feel like it keeps going higher.
Okay, yeah, this is me. I'm reaching.
Yeah, let me just keep moving it up. Yeah.
No, that's cool, man.
Yeah, so it's pretty fun. It's nice because it's like do a lot of projects that last for a bit amount of time, and so it's like a cool new thing, a new challenge. You exercise your brain. You do something, and then you move on to the next one. It's pretty fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were working on, maybe this was before this job. It was what was it? You were looking at like X-rays or something, or like surgery results or something.
That was a contract I had with the head of thoracic surgery at Ottawa Hospital. They're yeah post surgery clinical decision making. Yeah.
Okay. And then, so you were saying it was like a big data project, right? Where you're taking like all these different samples or whatever, and you're
There's
trying
a lot
to.
of data. I mean, I wouldn't call it big data. Certainly, I definitely wouldn't call it big data, but
Mm.
it's like, yeah, there's data for patients like before, during the surgery, after the surgery,
Mm.
and like basically the surgeons, basically they'll do like a lung surgery,
Mm-hmm.
and then there'll be tubes in the people's lungs that like drains fluids because I guess fluids build up after a lung surgery, and they want to figure out what's a great time to take the drainage tube out.
Mm-hmm. Just keep them in, just for fun.
Just keep them in. That's what we end up coming to the conclusion on. Just keep them in
Yeah.
forever.
Or just turn into Bane, right? Just start pumping like steroids.
That's
Into it.
phase 2.
Yeah.
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 Sign me up, man. Like I'm in. Need some testers.
Okay, I'll let them know.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So as far as like Stats Canada goes, is that like your kind of dream job, or is that?
It's a pretty good job.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good job. Like I love, like I said, like the programming and like having the idea that I keep getting a new, like I wouldn't want to do the same thing forever. That seems very boring. I'd get very bored. So it's definitely a dream job like that. And it's getting better. When I first started, there's a lot of, so as you might imagine, the government of Canada is very slow to change with like
No.
tech.
No.
It's still very slow, but progress is being made. It's pretty cool because like now, I can, we've got this thing called DAS, data science as a service, and data analytics as a service. And like I can just spin up whenever I want, pretty much like a cloud VM, a virtual machine, and just do experiments and things like that, and then shut it down. Whereas before, it's like, you're working on this 4 gig RAM piece of crap Windows machine, and anyways.
Yeah, no, the cloud computing has come a long way, right? Especially now you can even get like like these crazy specific cloud computers that have like crazy GPUs and all kinds of data crunching stuff in them, right? So
yeah.
So what do you know what company you guys use for that?
We use Azure, Microsoft Azure.
Oh, Azure. Yeah, Azure's great. Yeah. I use Azure for all my work stuff.
Sure.
Yeah. You don't like it?
I probably can't say anything, but
Okay.
it's doing great.
Okay.
No, the only issue that we have, I think, is like they're a company, so they want to sell you products.
Yeah.
And you don't need the products, and so there's just a bit of that.
Yeah, that's always going to be the way.
Yeah.
But the one thing I found with Azure, at least in my experience with different companies that I've used or that I've worked with that have used them, if you're at the point where you're spending a decent amount of money, they will help you with whatever. Like you get really, really good support people.
Sure. Yeah. Well, especially like, the government of Canada, like having contracts and things like that's huge for them.
Yeah. They're like $10 a month, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's really one thing that I found really interesting since, being a grown up, like this is like my first real job. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have a job until StatCan. It's like this intersection of, you got the tech people and and management who don't know tech. They just hear big words like AI and big data and
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, exactly. Cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
And then of course the vendors, whether it's Microsoft or it doesn't matter, IBM, it's SaaS, and it's a really interesting intersection because the vendors, they want to like sell because they're huge contracts. Like you convince one high level person in the government, to sign a contract, and you just made so much. But it's really interesting, pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. So do you see yourself being at StatsCam like for the long run, or do you see yourself doing something else eventually?
Well, I see myself working at StatsCan. It'd have to take something very special to pull me out.
Yeah,
I'd say. But like I for sure see myself like also doing my own thing and hopefully making money from my own thing because that'd be nice.
We were talking about starting a podcast a long time ago.
Like a good 10 years ago. After I stopped fighting, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was like, I should do a podcast.
Yeah.
No, I'm not interested in doing it.
No.
You do it. I don't want to compete with you.
Yeah. Why? But no, because I remember it was right after I think you retired. You were talking
Yeah,
about like getting microphones and stuff, and I remember
Yeah.
giving you a bunch of
Yeah, I think I bought a
recommendations.
microphone and then I just didn't use it, and I was like, I better return it before I can't
Before
return it
you-
anymore.
Well, if you want a microphone, I have a ton just
I'm good,
floating around.
thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah.
yeah. So what made you not want to do it then?
I think I just changed. I just lost interest, I guess.
Yeah.
Didn't know what I would talk about or
Just ninja stuff.
I think it was mostly the real question is like, why did I want to do it? I think it was just because I was listening to podcasts. Like, podcasts are cool, and podcasts were new,
Mm-hmm.
at least new to me. So it just seemed, I guess, alluring or yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, right? Because I feel like everybody now has a podcast.
Okay.
Like even dummies like me trying to start a
Even
podcast.
Matthias.
Yeah, I'm doing it for very selfish reasons though. Like essentially, I have a lot of friends that have like really unique stories and like unique backgrounds, and I feel like it would just be really cool to get like recordings of some of the conversation. Well, I mean, even me and you, right? Like back in the day, we talk about everything from flat Earth to Bigfoot and aliens, and I don't know. I think some of those conversations are cool. The
Cool.
Well, I guess Joe Rogan. That's kind of how he got his whole start too. But his is more like talking to his comedian friends,
Yeah.
and then obviously he like blew up to be, wow. I don't think his podcast is bigger than his.
No, he's that. I've never heard of a podcast bigger than his.
Yeah, no, his I think is the biggest, but I feel like ever since COVID, I feel like every celebrity
Everyone's doing a podcast.
has a podcast now. Yeah, and I think I've kind of gone through it, and some of them are pretty good, but some of them are just like bad. I feel like I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be trashing anybody, but I feel like some people think that what they're saying is really interesting, but it's really not.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like I'm probably in the opposite where I think I don't have much interesting to say, but I think I know a lot of people that I think have some interesting things to say. So I think, yeah, I have a list of about 40 people I think that I want to get. And I think, I keep saying I think now, but I know that I can get probably about 20, 25 of them that'll for sure do it. But I think the rest, I think I'll have to probably pull some strings, try to get some people on. But I'll show you the list after we're done. Let me know what you think.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
But when I wanted to do it, I originally was kind of debating whether I should just do an audio one and just get some cheap mics. And then I just started looking at all the other podcasts that are coming out right now. And I just kind of wanted to do it a very certain way. And that's why I have like all the stuff set up here. So I don't think the production quality is like crazy high, but I think it's like, somewhere in there.
Well, it's certainly a big step up from just using your laptop and some shitty mic.
Yeah, yeah. But I think the first thing to replace will probably be the mics.
Yeah.
Because these aren't the greatest.
Well, they look pretty real.
They look okay. The quality's good. Like,
I mean, you stained the wood wall, nice color.
yeah.
Beautiful.
You're giving away my hacks here,
Yeah,
right?
no, it's beautiful.
Yeah. No, I think everything in here kind of looks good, and then that's why I got the
You've got
cameras
two,
just, yeah.
not just one, but two Mace CDs. Harlem World.
Harlem World. All right, can you see that? Is that on mine? Oh yeah, I can. You can kind of see it on my camera view.
Two, not just one, but two.
The
Everybody needs two Mace CDs. I wish I had two Mace CDs.
true. It's true. Do you want to know the story behind that?
Let's hear it.
So I really liked Mace growing up. I don't know why. I still think Mace is awesome.
He is awesome.
But I had a Mace CD in my car, and because I was always doing dumb kid stuff, listening to the same CDs over and over again, I was like, you know what? It's a lot of work to take my CD out of my car and bring it in the house, and I might scratch it. I might drop it and break it.
Yeah.
Then I bought another one just for my room.
Good idea.
Yeah.
For every CD player.
I actually have like 9 Mace CDs. But no, this was a Columbia House.
Oh yeah, of course.
Remember
Oh
Columbia
yeah,
House?
man. Get 10 CDs for a penny.
Yeah.
And then you forget, and then they just mail you shitty CDs.
So that's essentially why I got it. So it was half what I was saying, but the other half is my mom was like, I need 10 more CDs. We have to fill up our penny CDs. And I'm like, I can use another Mace CD.
Make 9 of the Mace, Mom. I got you.
Yeah. But actually, funny Columbia House story. So I was a lot into rap when I was younger, and when the Wu-Tang Forever CD first came out, it was like the coolest thing, right? You're a little 8-year-old. I don't know how old it would have been. It would have been like 13 or something. Wu-Tang's coming out. Wu-Tang Forever, right? Awesome title. And I ordered it from Columbia House, and I got the censored version of Wu-Tang Forever.
I'm sorry.
So, if you can imagine what the censored version sounds like, there's a song on there called Dog Shit.
Okay.
And every time it swore, it's like a girl moaning instead of it censoring.
Wow. Is that really any better?
You know what? It's interesting. But
Dog. Dog.
yeah, pretty much. But so what happened is I was the first one of my friends to get it, right? Because we had the Columbia House memberships,
Yeah.
like the VIPs
That's right.
that I am. And yeah, we all huddled around my CD player, and there's like 8 of my little friends, and we're all just pumped, with our baggy jeans and our FUBU shirts, and then we put on that song, and then I remember my buddy Ian looked at me, and he's like, "What the fuck is this?" And at the time, right, it sounded like he's being real tough, right? But you got to remember, we're 13 years old. little 13-year-old kids listening to the censored version of Wu-Tang. So it's, yeah. So they kind of rode me hard for a little bit, making fun of me that I had that.
That's great.
But yeah, Columbia House, man. I guess all that stuff.
I wish that still existed. I would totally sign up.
Really?
Oh yeah.
All the music's on the internet now.
I don't do that. I have records, tapes, and CDs. We listen to all three.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are you listening to? Other than
Well,
Garth Brooks.
these days, we've got a heavy rotation of Christmas albums.
Yeah?
Yeah. I just got 2 new ones this year. One is Matt Dusk. It's like a crooner. I think he might even be from Ottawa. He's definitely Canadian.
Matt Dusk?
Matt Dusk, I think.
Dusk or Desk?
Dusk.
Dusk?
I think so.
Kind of a sexy name.
I guess so. And then I got one for my woman. It's Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers Christmas album.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's good too.
Did you guys sing the songs together when they come
I don't
out?
know those songs yet, but you gotta sing Christmas songs.
Yeah.
And Marcus loves it.
Oh yeah.
He loves it. Yeah.
Is he saying words and stuff yet and singing?
And he's two in like 4 months. Yeah, for sure. He's definitely talking. He's talking it for sure.
Like full
He
on.
sings, but by singing, he just says the words.
Yeah.
He just says it.
So I totally forget how my daughter was when she was 2. So can you have like a
Yeah, you forget, eh?
Yeah.
Like, I look back at pictures, like fuck, I can't remember that. Yeah.
So is he like talking like full sentences too? Like can you have a conversation with him?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, like he's not gonna talk like the way we're talking right now. And he always refers to himself as Marcus. Marcus is hungry. Marcus wants to this,
Aggressive.
Yeah, Marcus. Yeah.
Does he say stuff like "feed Marcus"?
No.
No.
Marcus doesn't want that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't make sure that doesn't go away. That's like
Yeah.
like a football player type thing, right?
It's like there's an episode of Seinfeld. It's like Jimmy. Jimmy refers to himself as Jimmy.
Who's Jimmy?
Jimmy likes Elaine. Jimmy thinks Elaine is pretty.
I never watched Seinfeld.
You lose.
I know
You
I'm the
lose.
worst. I know.
Yeah.
It keeps coming up. People keep making like Seinfeld references. And I'm sitting there like, ha 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 ha. Ha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, but there was a I think was it Bo Jackson? He used to talk. Well, he had commercials, I guess. Right?
Bo knows.
Yeah.
Bo knows.
Bo knows football.
Yeah.
Bo knows cereal. I don't remember what the commercial was. There was something about that where it's like, Bo knows this.
Yeah.
What was he selling?
I don't know.
You remember?
No.
If we've done this, I'll have to look that up. Good old Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson, yeah.
So as far as like him talking and stuff, like, are you able, like, if you wanted him to do something right now, like if you wanted to go like clean his plate or something, is he able to go do it?
Well, not clean plate, but yeah, if I go tell him to do something, like
Yeah.
he understands. He's really, really smart.
Yeah.
He's super
So if
smart,
you're
yeah.
like, Marcus, go get your shit together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He likes to exercise.
Oh, yeah?
Marcus, do some push-ups. Marcus, do some jumping jacks. Marcus, yeah, he goes and does it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Kids are so cute, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I want to see your kid now. I'll have to swing by soon.
Do it.
Yeah. After this, we'll have to arrange it at play date.
Yeah.
We'll get Tatiana over there.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I miss when she's that small. Because when they're that small, they're almost like, they're not quite action figures anymore, because when they're like 1 year old, they're pretty much like little action figures. You can kind of dance them around and stuff. And then once they start to like develop their own personality and characteristics and stuff. It's cool. Yeah.
No, it's great.
It's like real life Pokemon.
I don't know what Pokemon is. I mean, I know it exists, but I don't know what it involves. I know you have to collect them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it was really cool to do the
Okay, it's
virtual
not like
augmented reality.
it's not like Pokemon because you don't want to go around collecting kids. That doesn't sound.
Having kids is like.
Yeah, no. Let's take that back. Let's take that back completely. No, but you know what I mean. Like you get to like, or I guess like it's like a Tamagotchi. Oh, what was that?
Did you run out of disk space or something?
No, I don't know.
All right.
No, still recording. All right, hopefully nothing blew up. That's good.
What is it like if you record like an hour of this? How much is that? What's the disk space?
I don't know.
Because if I record like a 2-minute video with my camera, and it's like $1,000 camera. It's like a gig.
Yeah, no,
for like a minute or two.
This I think it'll all compress it.
Okay.
I'll get back to you on that, but I think an hour will probably be about like 2-3 gigs. I think.
Pretty good.
Yeah, but it might be a bit more. So I changed it all recently. So now it's when it's recording, it's got all the audio tracks of everything is actually separate. So we had an issue. We've done like 3 or 4 test runs now, try to get like everything like good, and we had some like echoing issues and all kinds of stuff. So now all the audio tracks are recorded separately. So then in post, if you're too quiet, right? If you have like a really quiet voice, then I can amp you up, and then because I'm like screaming in the mic pretty much, I can amp myself down a little bit.
Are you running this on your laptop or are you running it on one of your machines, your desktop machines?
It's
because there looks like there's a VDI.
Yeah, no, this is just remoting into that computer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, my laptop wouldn't be able to handle this.
That's okay.
Because if the whole setup, it's so I don't have everything plugged in right now, but there's one camera there, right? So usually my buddy Gab would be here, produce it and manage all the audio and the video and stuff.
Usually, but this is the first podcast.
Yeah, well, yeah, you will be here. Hopefully.
Usually, all the other times, every single time before this one, he's always been there.
Yeah, he's always been there for me, but yeah, no, he's got an appointment or someday, so he wasn't able to make it.
Right.
But I rigged this together so I can manage it. It's fine.
Cool.
But yeah, so normally he'd be there. So there's a camera on him too. We had a different mic for him, but I have another one of these.
Okay, so you've tested with him, is what you're saying?
Yeah. We've run it like 4 or 5 test runs. But
oh man, you have weights.
Oh yeah,
and they're just sitting there.
Yeah,
that's like gold.
Yeah,
that's bigger than cryptocurrency.
Have you not seen? Oh, I didn't show you my garage gym.
You've got weights?
Yeah.
You know, Casper reached out to me this week, sent me a text saying, what do you know about like web scraping? Because he wants to web scrape to like websites, retailers that sell weights, because he wants to know when the weights become available in the inventory to ping him and let him know. Guy's been trying to make like a home gym for months. It seems like he can't get weights.
Yeah, I lucked out. So
before COVID or during.
Oh yeah, way before COVID. Yeah, like my setup that I have in the I'll show you all my stuff after. Like it's decent. I think my whole setup all to get like everything combined was probably like $1,400-$1,400. And I got like over 500 pounds worth of weights. Like that now. I literally looked a little while ago. What is that beeping? Oh, it's this thing running out of batteries. Okay, that's fine. Sorry, what I was saying. Yeah, so I spent about, I think it was like $1,300-$1,400 ish, maybe a little bit more than that because I have like deadlift platform and all that stuff too. But yeah, I looked it up recently. It's insane. Like, it would literally be like 3 times as much.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It doesn't even make sense. Yeah, so COVID, the inflation on weights and stuff,
it's crazy.
Is huge. Yeah,
I couldn't imagine. Like, I looked up, I was like, I want some weights. I have I think the highest I have is like 20 pounds. I have 20 pounds, 10 pounds, like 5 pounds or whatever. Like, I need something more. And I looked up, and a single 40-pound dumbbell is $130. It's more than 3 times. It's like, I'm not going to spend like $260 for 2 fucking dumbbells, you know? And it's 40 pounds. Like, and then it made me think, what's come back is when you get the weights, you have a single bar and you add on 5, 5, 5 or 10, what, you know what I mean? Like that's now makes more sense because then you don't have to buy as much weights.
So do you have any like bars or anything like that at home right now?
No, I have nothing.
Okay.
And I don't have really space for it.
Okay. Because I was gonna say if you did have some bars that are not the Olympic size ones, I have like a bunch of plates I can just give you.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'll take them and just sell them.
No.
I'll sell them. I'll give the plates back to you after COVID's done. And I'll pocket the
Yeah, because I have all like Olympic stuff now, but I do have some of the smaller ones that they're just saying that what I usually use them for is I'm doing like deadlifts or squats. I want to get my heel up. I kind of put those
Yeah,
underneath.
yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy because I was looking at getting what was I looking at? It was dumbbells recently, but I wanted some like 100-pound ones. And there was some lady on Kijiji who's selling like 100-pound dumbbells for like $250 no, it was 300 or $350 per 100-pound dumbbell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
the price is like it's over $3 per pound now.
it was insane. And I messaged her. I was like, all right, like, is this for both? Like, even then, that's high. And she's like, no, that's for each. And I was like, okay, well, I'll give you $150. And she's like, no, I already had people that have offered me $250, and I've turned them down. And I'm like,
Yeah, she'll get it.
I was like, lady, come on.
Because the thing
Why
is
are you doing
also
this?
100 pounds. If you want to buy 2 100-pound dumbbells, that means you're pretty serious. Like you're missing the gym,
Yeah,
and you're gonna be willing to pay.
I wasn't gonna pay.
I mean, when I reached out to this lady to buy 1,000-pound dumbbells, because that's what I use,
It's like,
I didn't end up getting them. But like I just said 40 pounds earlier for no reason. But
yeah, no, for sure, I get you.
yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so she apparently had people offering her $300 for a 100-pound dumbbell, and she wanted $350. So I don't know. I feel like there's a place in hell for people like that. I'm just
Hey, man.
well, yeah. At the end of the day, it's whatever. It's an open market. You can
Yeah,
sell it for whatever.
100%.
But I feel like I don't know. I feel like not weight's obviously not as important as food, but I feel like if shit really was to go down, the people that are selling like, hey, I got one corn of cob or a cob of corn here, $100, and it's like, all right, somebody shoot this guy.
That escalated quickly.
You know what I mean? Like you see those like what do you call it? Like apocalypse movies, right? People like hoarding food and then like selling off like individual Rice Krispies for like $1 or something.
Is that what happens?
I don't know. I'm sure.
Which movie is that?
I'm sure there's been a movie.
Is that one that you and your buddy watch all the time?
No. But you've definitely seen movies where they're like, apocalypse movies where they're selling cans of beans for like $100 or something, right? Like
I've never seen any apocalypse movie where someone's selling. Usually it's like they're just killing to get things.
yeah. Okay. Well, I've seen some where like currency is now like bullets and stuff, right? Wasn't it like a zombie one recently or a TV show where like the currency was now bullets, it was ammo and stuff?
Makes sense.
Yeah. Or bottle caps.
Bottle caps?
Yeah.
Isn't that
It's Fallout.
Yeah.
Yeah. But-
Wait a minute.
Yeah. That's kind of a weird thing. Why would you go from money to bottle caps?
I forget the background story to this.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know.
I feel like there's something important though that happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, I don't know. So I have mixed feeling. Well, so something I've been trying to get a hold of right now is new graphics cards come out. I don't know if you follow like computer hardware.
Which
at all.
one?
The GTX 1080 or 3080s
Okay.
and the 3090s that just came out. So I've been trying to get a 3080, and I see them post.
What are they going for?
Well, they're I think just shy of $1,000, like
Pretty
MSRP.
good. That's amazing.
But people are selling them, like scalping them
Yeah.
for like $1,500 to like $2,500.
Yeah.
I feel like that's rude.
I remember when the what is it, like the 2080 RTX? It's whatever that came out after 1080 Ti.
Okay, yeah, so it'd been the
A couple years
2080s or
ago.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. When they came out, I was at a big machine learning conference, and it's like the biggest machine learning conference in the world. It
Mhm.
sells out. It's literally sells out within 15 minutes. The tickets to get to this thing. And all the big companies are there, and they throw after parties like every night, each night of the conference. And one night, Nvidia was sponsoring it, an after party, and they had forget his name. Who's the guy that sings "Welcome to my house"?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I'll look it up. I'll look it
sure.
up so I have some reference point.
Yeah. Anyways,
What's
had
the
that
song?
guy.
That's the name of the song?
Yeah. Welcome to my house.
Welcome to my house.
That's it.
Flow Rider?
Flow Rider.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, and they threw like into the crowd. They gave away these RTX 2080s or whatever they were.
And they're throwing them into the crowd?
I wasn't there,
Are
but
people like getting
but
hit
that's,
by them? Like,
that's what I
fuck,
heard.
'cause they're
Yeah,
heavy,
they gave
man.
them away.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, not for Flow Rider. Well, Flow Rider would have been cool too. But,
Yeah.
but to get some, but these are the after parties for like machine learning geeks.
Yeah.
Give me the GPUs.
Well, when I was in game development, I went to some like game dev conference after parties, and it's Same thing. Yeah. Again, not to hate on anybody, not to make fun of anybody, but I do remember some of these like conferences in Montreal that I went to, and there'd be like a room full of like 200 guys, and there'd be like 2 girls, and then each one of the girls is swarmed by like 50 dudes. So you knew where the girls were, or like I guess like key developers were there, because it'd be like they'd be in the middle, and then just like a mob of like dudes around them. So yeah, I'm sure those.
Fanboys.
Yeah, yeah.
Fanboys.
Sure, those would be the same.
Yep.
But yeah, it's pretty cool throwing graphics cards out.
Straight up.
I would have caught one.
I would have loved to have one.
Would you been like one of those, the at like baseball games when like the little kid catches the ball and then there's like the soccer mom behind like ah! You like grab the little kid by the head, pull him back,
right,
yank the ball out of his hand, mine, and then hold it up like a trophy.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But yes, I've been trying to get a 3080. Can't do it. Can't find
We'll
it.
get it eventually. But what do you use it for? Just for gaming?
No, there's some other stuff I want to do with it too. Like I've been doing some streaming for a little bit, but nothing crazy, just like with a bunch of friends. And the setup that I have right now, it's 2 computers, but I kind of want to use one computer.
Right.
So if I had that would maybe make it one computer. But I have a 4K monitor, so playing games on 4K, more power, more better, right?
Yep.
So
I use it for machine learning, and so like if I'm running like machine learning models like 24/7, my room, like that GPU gets hot.
Yeah.
It's at like 90 something degrees. I go in that room, it's hot.
But what GPU you have for that?
Just a 1080 Ti.
Okay. Yeah. You one up me then. I only have a 1080.
There you go.
You always gotta one up me, Nick.
Damn.
Yeah. It's like I can bench press 100-pound dumbbells. I can bench press 1,000-pound dumbbells.
I wasn't bench press. I curl those.
Oh, curl. Yeah. It's like I have a 1080. I have a 1080 Ti. I have 2 of them.
Yeah. And I remember when I got it, it was like $1,200.
Yeah.
And you see the price of these new ones. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I lucked out when I got mine. So I got mine on, I think it was Boxing Day, like 2 years ago, and I got it for like $500.
Yeah, that's good.
And because I remember around that time, I think the 1080s were selling for, I think like 800 maybe. And so I picked mine up for $500. I had a friend of mine who wanted one too, and so I bought it. I was like, hey Colin, like here's a link, like they're on sale right now. He went to it. He's like, they're all sold out. I'm like, wah wah. But yeah, so shortly after that, there was like a shortage of them, and then the 1080s were selling for like $1,200. And then my buddy was saying, he's like, oh, you should sell it. I'm like, but then I have to buy another one. So he's like, oh, well, you could sell it and buy a lesser one, and then buy a better one when the newer ones come out. Yeah. I'm like, that's a lot of work for $600.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully, I can get a 3080. But there's still $1,000 is a lot of money for a video card.
Yeah, especially if you already have one.
Yeah,
you already have a decent one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think if I was to get that, I'd probably try to sell the one that I have.
Yeah, I don't know how much you'd get for that nowadays.
I see a lot of people are still selling them for like anywhere between $300 to $600. But right now is very special, right? Because everybody's buying everything up. People are being crazy. But yeah, I don't know. And again, I would like to do some game streaming and stuff again, because it's been a while since I've done it. But
so you stream yourself playing games? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
But not a lot. Like, I think the last time I did was probably before COVID. Actually, I don't think I have in like the last year, because like, well, the whole podcast. I started planning this about a year and a half ago. So a year and a half ago, I was supposed to do it with another buddy of mine, and then, I was kind of really interested in doing it, and I slowly started buying like equipment and stuff, and then he decided he didn't want to do it anymore, and so it kind of fizzled out. And then about 6 months ago, I was like, you know what? I wanted to start a podcast. I'm just gonna do it. So then I started buying all the equipment, and yeah, and I guess a month ago or so is when I finally like had everything, and then over the last couple weeks, just kind of slowly.
And that's when you finished staining the wood.
That's when I finished.
Cool.
Staining the
Good.
Staining the wood.
Looks great.
Yeah. It's funny because like it still looks like crap like above that, right? So it's like everything.
They don't see it. No, it looks great. You stained to the right level.
Yeah. We're in my log cabin right now.
Yeah.
Right? In my was it Tai Lopez here in my garage? My Ferraris. Yeah, we should get a green screen.
And put a background?
I do have a green screen actually, yeah. put a green screen behind the guest and make it look like you're like sitting in front of like Ferraris and stuff.
That's it. Like we use Microsoft Teams for our online, like our virtual meetings or whatever. And my background, because I'm in the basement at home, in my background is like a robot room. A robot room with robots behind me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Big robots or small robots?
Humanoid-sized robots. Yep.
No
big enough.
No Transformers.
No Transformers.
Yeah. So do you have like a green screen setup, or is it one of the things?
This is one of the things that they
just
you can just
props it out.
Yeah, and you can like use your own images.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because some of the tech that was able to like do facial recognition and like body recognition, it's come a long ways in like the last, like I say even 2-3 years, because I know software like that existed for a long time, but it was like always crap before, where it would like cut out your ears, or it's like one eye was like missing and stuff.
Yeah, sometimes around the edges of your face are
Yeah.
still a bit iffy, but it's perfectly like it passes the test.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's I think the only thing is around like hair and stuff, right? If you have hair or very fine things like sticking off your clothing, whatever, I feel like it'll still crop it because it adds like what do you call it? Not a glow, but it kind of feathers the edges a little bit, I find, right? So if the image is small, it looks great, but as soon as you blow it up, then it's noticeable. But excuse me. But yeah, no, I think a lot of that stuff, it's scary, man. Like all the facial recognition stuff.
Yeah.
It's because so I have a buddy of mine who was at the airport recently, and he was saying that they're forcing people to take pictures of people with their masks on now for certain things. So I think they're trying to figure out how to recognize people, even though parts of their face are missing.
Yeah, I mean, there's like studies, like research papers surrounding that come out like every day. I see them every morning. I check the new like machine learning papers that come out.
Yeah.
And but what does it matter? What does it matter? Like, why does that cause alarm when they already do facial recognition without masks? Like, what?
I don't know. I'm just paranoid. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
there's I mean, just like any piece of technology, like just you own a camera. Is a camera bad? Well, it depends how people use cameras.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
And at first I was really, I guess, against some of the like things like having an Alexa upstairs, right? Like my privacy's gone now, right?
I would never own Alexa. I think that's retarded.
Yeah. No, I kind of, and the reason I got it was I was working for a company that was doing a lot of like smart home integration type stuff. So I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna work there, at the time I had nothing. I had no smart nothing, anything. Everything was dumb except for my phone, right? And so I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna work here and this is kind of what they're doing, I'm just gonna start buying some of the stuff so I can actually be more familiar with like the ecosystem, right? So I bought the Alexa. I bought a robot.
Do you use it?
Yeah. It's a glorified music player. Like we'd say, like, you know, play some Tupac or whatever, right? And it'll just start playing it. So it's cool for that kind of stuff. But I don't use it for any of the others, like, because I know you can use it to kind of, well, I use it to control some of the lights. So some of the things that I bought was some smart lights, robot vacuum.
You could do that stuff on by yourself though, like with a Raspberry Pi.
What do you mean?
Like music player.
Yeah, but
you could ping an API that turns your audio to text,
mm-hmm.
and then you could just play your music. Like you do require you to do some work yourself.
For sure.
You don't need Alexa for that stuff.
No, but the reason I bought this stuff was because that's the stuff the customers and stuff were using to integrate to the stuff they were building, right? So I just needed to get more familiar with the things that the customers were actually using, right? That's why I ended up buying some of the stuff. And and maybe I'm letting my guard down a little too much because it is in like my kitchen, but part of me is still a little paranoid that they're like recording all these conversations. And
I don't know if they're recording or like storing, because that's a lot of data.
Yeah.
Like you can't, how much money that would cost to store everyone who has an Alexa's data. And then the idea, like, is there a return on investment for that? But for sure.
But it's Amazon though. They have like unlimited money, right?
I don't know. That's a lot of data, man.
Dude.
A lot of data.
Jeff Bezos.
I know Jeff Bezos.
He's got a haircut like me.
Yeah.
Except he has unlimited money.
That's true. He does have unlimited money.
Because even Facebook, right? They're at the point where they're getting truckloads.
I would never have an Alexa.
Yeah.
I would never do. I would never. No way.
All right. I know
I'm surprised you, Mr. Paranoid,
I
thinking about all these
know.
different things has an Alexa.
I
What the fuck,
know.
man?
Now I should uninstall it. Now
Yeah.
I should get rid of it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna buy you an Alexa for Christmas.
Buy me one. Yeah, it's not coming in the house.
I'll rename it to like Bob Alexa.
No, I'll eventually
Mm.
build the smart home, but I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
I'll do my own thing. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah,
It's
Alexa, Google, same thing.
the fact that
No way.
we're saying it. It's probably like boop, like turning on right now because they can hear it.
Quite
upstairs.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's cool. So I think the scary things that I turned them off was the fact you can order stuff through it, right? So you could say its name and then say stuff you wanted to order from Amazon, and you can do it all through voice. And initially, I think it's on by default or whatever. But I remember looking at my my Amazon cart one day, and there's like stuffed animals, like stuffed shark animals in there. There was a bunch of like lawn tools and a bunch of like toys, like just tons and tons of toys on there. I'm like, what happened here? Like, where did this come from? And yeah, I remember Tatiana was a lot younger then, and she said something, and all of a sudden the Alexa's like, adding to your cart. And I'm like, that's what happened. You gotta turn that off right now.
Fuck that.
Yeah, because like legit, I looked at the cart and it was like $180 or whatever, right? So I was like, yeah, imagine if just all of a sudden just stuffed animals started being delivered to the house. I'd be like, what is going on here?
Yeah, that would...
So yeah, that's one of the things. So yeah, I think I turned that off so it doesn't do that anymore. But I know it does a lot of cool stuff. Like if I want to turn the lights off again, it sounds so stupid.
How hard is it to turn off the light?
I know, that's what I'm saying. It does sound stupid. Especially now that I'm saying it, but like if I'm upstairs and somebody left the kitchen light on, I can just tell it to turn it on.
Lazy, man.
Dude,
you don't need 800-pound weights. You need to go up and down the stairs, turn off your fucking lights.
There's a reason I put on a little bit of weight, Nick. There's a reason. I don't walk anymore.
Yeah, I was at the store the other day and I saw smart like outlets, and I was like thinking, what could I do? And when you have to stop and think really hard, like what would be cool, like you don't obviously need it. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't need this. Like I'm trying really hard to think what would be cool. The only thing I could think of, and you don't need a smart application for it, is the time between when I wake up and having a coffee.
Yeah.
I hate that time. I have a little routine, but I would love to just go downstairs and there's a coffee waiting for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be nice to be able to like have it. I could upstairs say make the coffee or whatever.
So,
but
funny you say that. So again, I'm not gonna name the company, but the company I was working with all the smart home stuff. One of the things they joined an incubator, and I was kind of helping them prepare the presentation for this incubator, and they're gonna do like a whole video showing this crazy presentation. And one of the things is the guy was coming home in a Tesla, and as he was entering a certain distance from his home, at home the coffee maker would start, and as he would pull into the driveway, the garage door would open by itself, and then all the house doors would like unlock, and then as he was a certain distance, the temperature in the home would like change automatically and stuff, right? So it's all prepared when the guy gets into the house. And yeah, one of the things was integrating coffee maker to kind of make the presentation work. So
did it work? Did they do all these things?
I left before
Fair enough.
that happened. I'll tell you the details off air what happened, but yeah, sounds good. But yeah, so no, I think it's cool. I think automation to the point where, again, one of the things that company was working on was looking at the distance and the direction you're traveling in your vehicle, like when you're going from and to work, and you could essentially geo map things, right? So you could have events on the map, so when you were at a certain area, you could do things, right? You can automate a bunch of stuff, and I think it's cool, but yeah, like you're saying, is like there's definitely like some gluttonous laziness.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess going on, right?
Yep. Yeah, but to get back to like the mask thing and like the facial recognition, the things that I have concerns about, I have certain concerns, and like they're guaranteed going to happen, I'm sure, at some point. Things I'm concerned about is just like universal tracking. It was really interesting. I watched a talk yesterday at work. We had a guest person come in and give a talk. I guess they didn't come in. It's all on Teams, but
we'll pretend they did.
Yeah, and it's on like privacy and using privacy attacks on machine learning. So it's like you can have a model and just by like basically pinging the model or querying it or certain things that you can do with it. You can like infer, if your data is a part of the model and things like that. Things that you can tease out from just a model. And the one really cool thing he mentioned was that now, I guess I forget which country, but there are countries now that in their like rights, like their bills of rights or whatever, like into law, they're putting it in so that if there's like an automated system, like an AI, whatever, something that does classification, says like you are likely to be whatever, police pull you over, whatever, you have a right.
You're talking about like Minority Report shit.
Well, yeah, not so much that, but something like this. You have the right to like the model has to explain itself. Like the model just says like Matthias is gonna do something. It has to be able to like justify that. And like I don't know, maybe for someone who's maybe not in the field, that might seem like obvious or whatever, but like it's a pretty interesting thing. And so there's things that you can do to get around it, but yeah, there's definitely, without something like that, like, oh, there's a model that says whatever, like, oh, okay, but humans, they blindly, like, you should see the presentations I go to at StatCan where it's like, I use this analogy because it's literally what happens. Someone is pointing at like a graph and the person goes, ooh, 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 number good. And everyone goes, ooh, 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 number good. And like, they have no idea what the fuck they're looking at, right? Or like how those numbers are generated and the models and things like that. Like that it's trustworthy and things like that. But that's what people do. And especially the higher level up you go, people like, oh, spare me the details. Like, is that number good? Yeah. High number means good. Okay. That's it. That's what happens, man. Yeah. And so my concern is like, like these models get built or whatever, and they get put into systems in real life that interact with people, and then like they'll affect your life.
Yeah. Well, I think yeah, and I think it gets to the point where it's like, if you were to get pulled over and the cop gets up and it's like male 36 years old wearing plaid shirt, likely to be a suspect in crime, or something like that. And I think put people on edge, right? Like,
yes, it becomes a big problem.
Yeah. You think racial profiling's bad? Wait till like AI profiling's a thing, right?
Yeah.
No, I think there's some countries, and I think in Great Britain it might be something they're doing where they have like a camera on, I think it's like every single intersection, and they're doing like facial recognition in like every direction.
Yeah.
And so again, I don't know.
They're crazy. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I read like years ago that you have to have like a license to buy a TV or something like that. Like,
no,
crazy things like that. Yeah.
A license to buy a TV?
Look it up, man. Look it up. Let's look it up just to see. I want to know. I have that in my brain, and
that sounds wild.
Yeah. Like put in UK or
I'll just put license to buy a TV.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so we have nickdenis.com. These countries need license to buy a TV. You need an application. Okay, in the UK, there literally is
there you go.
A thing here that says, do you need an application form to buy a new TV license? What the You don't need an application form if you buy a TV license online. What?
So you need a TV license. Yeah,
no.
they track who has TVs and things like that. Yeah, so having a camera on every corner is like...
This is like, pay for your TV license.
Yeah.
Renew car. No, this
can't
go. Be right.
I told you, man.
This is for like a hotel or something. Like, this can't be for
No,
people.
I remember reading that years ago. That like if you want to go to like, the UK's version of Best Buy or whatever they have, yeah, you have to have like a license or what, like it's documented so that they know that you have a TV.
Are people going around like killing people with TVs? Is that like like, is that a thing?
I have no idea what the rationale is.
Is there guys just walking around with giant like 70-inch TVs and just smashing on stuff? Like,
I don't know, man.
What?
Yeah, I've never actually looked it up myself. I just remember reading it somewhere.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, that's interesting.
So everybody who's listening to this or watching this right now, look up and put comments, and I'll put the the comments in the YouTube video on why this would be a thing. Like, that seems insane to me. License for a TV. Because like I understand, like, obviously, like cars, right? Cars make sense. Because even now I think we're too easy on licensing, like letting people drive. I feel like,
well, since I've had a kid, now it's like everything is dangerous, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with this person? Like, why is that person allowed to drive? Like, fuck you, man. You know, like I got a fucking kid here. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel the same way. It's a bit, especially in all old people. You know, it's. I mean, we all get old, but there's a certain
That's
age.
That's ageism,
No
Nick
man,
Denis.
that's reality.
Ageism.
And there's a certain age where they should bring back testing. You know, it's like.
Well, I think you have to get an eye test. I think, right, at a certain age.
You think you need to do more than see. Like you need to have reaction time and things like that, and judgment and.
Yeah. See, I have mixed feelings on this, right? Because like, I have a pretty libertarian like mindset. Like, I feel like you should be, as long as you're not hurting anybody, you should be able to do like whatever, right?
Yeah, but a 1-year-old can't drive.
Says you. No, but like with some things, it does make sense, right? Like with vehicles, it does make sense that you have to have some sort of like course or something so you at least know how to drive. But I think a lot of that's gonna change when self-driving cars are more common, right? Because then maybe a 1-year-old can drive, right? A 1-year-old can get in your self-driving car.
You think a 1-year-old is gonna be able to drive a car?
I don't know.
Self-driving car.
Was AI inside, saying like, "Get in, Marcus. I'm driving you to daycare."
Yeah.
Goes to daycare. Is like, "See you in 8 hours, Marcus," or 6 hours.
We'll see about that.
And maybe there's like a little hand in the car that just kind of scoops in, grabs him by his pants, like, droop, droop, droop. "See you later, Marcus." Boop.
That's like the Jetsons.
Yeah, exactly. little arm that goes, and then a foot that go boop and like kicks him out. He's got his little lunchbox and walks into daycare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I
not
think,
anytime soon. Certainly.
Self-driving cars are getting there. I think they're still a long ways away because like I think there's some things that worry me about self-driving cars, right? Like one of the things that I've read is there's a situation where a self-driving car is about to get in an accident. The car recognizes it's getting into an accident, but it has two choices, right? It could do something. It could maneuver off the bridge and kill the driver, or it could smash into this other car and kill a whole family, right? So the person driving the car is like, well, fuck it. I want myself to be safe. So do whatever it takes to have me be safe. But then as a whole, right, it makes more sense, to essentially one casualty instead of like 6 or whatever, right? So it's kind of like this weird predicament that kind of makes people really uncomfortable when they talk about it.
Yeah, so like I don't think like those things happen. Like it's not like that happens.
Yeah.
It's not like and I don't think humans also think it's more like shit fuck.
Well,
that's what happens.
But
It's not like, oh geez, what happened in my ethics 101 course? Oh, I do want to live, but should I value? Is my life more valued? Like that thing doesn't happen there, and it doesn't happen in the machine as well.
Well, I think the machine has a lot more time, though. It has a lot more, I guess the potential of the reaction time of a computer, right, should be better than the average person driving a car, right? The decision
Probably not, actually. Probably definitely not.
I don't think so.
No, I mean, like,
I've seen some people drive that have really bad reaction time, though. Like, I've seen some people like steer the wrong way, and like.
Sure, I'm sure there exist people on the planet that shouldn't be driving and have slower reaction time than a machine that has to. Like, I don't even know. Are they pinging APIs, or is that an onboard machine, like on-edge device that's doing the inference?
I think it'd be. I think it's.
What's the frame rate at which they're collecting data?
Yeah.
And so like, there's a lot of factors.
So from my understanding, I think it's a bit of both, right? So I think some stuff gets handled on board, and then I think there's always like a live stream connection. I think most of them work this way, where it's like, I guess a portion of it's being done on board in the vehicle, and then the big data crunching parts are being done off site, right? Like it's wireless or whatever, like through, I think it's like cell signals. So I think, and the reason I think that works is because I don't think you're always going to have a connection. So there's going to be some roads that you go on.
You're not going to have connection all the time, no.
Yeah, exactly. So I think in those particular instances, some vehicles are able to still drive and some aren't. Like some will shut off. This is my understanding, very limited understanding of how self-driving cars work. But there's a bunch of sensors on the vehicle. The computer in the vehicle is always processing stuff, and it's constantly sending data out and receiving feedback from it, right? So it's going to be a mix of both. But as far as like the reaction time goes, I don't think it's there right now. So I think, well, because there have been accidents in self-driving cars, right? Like there was that one guy, I think he was watching porn or something, and he's in a Tesla, and he essentially hit a a transport trailer and it cut the top of it off.
I mean,
or
there's lots of accidents that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a couple instances. There's a lot.
Yeah, but I think like eventually it'll get better and better, right? And I think it'll be safer, but I think there's still going to be these instances where, maybe you would rather make the decision instead of somebody else. But now if you're at the point where all cars are self-driving, they don't have steering wheels anymore, I personally would feel uncomfortable.
I don't think that would happen. Not for a long time.
Minority Report, right? They didn't have steering
I
wheels.
don't think that'll happen.
No?
There's going to be very real. The biggest thing that's limiting self-driving cars, I think, and that kind of stuff, I don't think is technology. I think it's like the relationship to the real world.
Yeah.
So, like legal things. So like if an accident happens, where does the responsibility lie? Is it the company? Is it the driver? There's all sorts of different things that come into play, and ironing out all these different like interacting parts, like real world.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That'll be the slow part.
See, I just hope that it always remains as like an option, right?
To do what?
To either drive your own car or self-drive. Like I feel like as long as there's always an option, like I'm cool with it. But I don't want. I don't know. I've seen like,
I'm not using a self-driving car.
No.
No fucking way.
No. I think it'd be cool, man. Like
I don't want any car, and it's gonna be harder and harder. I don't want any car that has like remote access computer on board.
Well,
that's really hard. That's really going to be really hard soon.
Well, that's scary, right?
Because people hack cars all the time, man. Turn off your brakes and shit like that.
Yeah, so that's what I was about to say. I watched a video,
and there's like bugs in everything. You like, how many updates does an Apple machine device have? Like, there's apps like they don't care. They rush to production.
Yep.
And they'll do patches later. That's okay. You take that with your fucking car. Like you're driving a fucking car. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, what I was saying was there was a video I watched of a guy. It was a live demonstration. So this guy was part of some ethical hacking team, and he had a laptop and some sort of receiver device or something. And I don't know, maybe it was just like a external network card or something. But he was going through a parking lot, and he's like, all right, we're gonna go through this parking lot. There's X number of cars in here. He's like, there's a chance that I can hack into like 20% of the cars or whatever. Like he was just spitting out these numbers that were like not crazy high, but it's like 20%. Like okay. And then he's like, okay, so he's walking by. He's like, okay, this car here. I was like, I can unlock it. It's like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. He's like unlocking cars and like opening the doors and turning the lights on. And he's like, oh, this car here, I can. And again, maybe this was staged. I don't know. But he's like, this car here, which I think it was a BMW. He's like, oh, we can give throttle, we can access the gas and the brake, and he starts pulling the car out of the parking lot, and I'm like, whoa! Like,
no doubt, man. I mean, it's like, your average person, not your average person, like almost everyone, unless you're like a paranoid person or something like that, and so you have like set things up for yourself. People can access like your webcam and turn it on and watch you. You know. I went and watched. I was at a conference, and I went to this like series on security and privacy talks. And this guy who's part of in Canada, he's part of this like security think tank group or whatever.
Yeah.
He's saying it's a fucking joke, man.
So you're allowed to talk about this, right?
Yeah, of course. So he was given this example of baby monitors, two-way baby monitors that have, you can watch them. So we were having one where we could watch Marcus, but I didn't see this talk first, but I already knew ahead of time. I used radio, because radio you can't really hack it. But it's really hard to find radio baby monitors.
Well, you can still you can kind of hack it if you're close, right?
You have to be very close.
Yeah.
Like if we go into our backyard, we lose reception.
Yeah.
So you have to be like basically in the house.
Yeah.
And then the Wi-Fi ones, it's just a joke. So he gave this example of basically this guy that hacked this kid's Wi-Fi baby monitor. And he talked and he gave this little girl like orders at night and told her what to do, and like to self-harm herself and things like that. And it's really fucked up.
Yeah.
And so what this guy was talking about was that, like on the dark web or whatever it's called there, these are just like businesses that people have. So like you will go on there, you can say like, I want to target this person and like hack their computer and like get all their data or whatever, or like target this person for whatever. And it's ridiculously simple, and they offer like customer service and like customer support, and like it's like legit companies, and it costs like nothing. It's like $20. So you can like target anyone and do whatever you want for like $20. And he's saying like you have no idea how actually common this is, and how easy it is.
All right. So
Yeah.
I was paranoid at probably like 70%. I think I'm at like 95 now.
Yeah, it's like it's no
Yeah.
joke. It's so like the idea of like hacking a car, like that you're in and driving.
Mm-hmm.
You, like I would never have Alexa. I wouldn't have a Wi-Fi baby monitor.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly wouldn't have. I don't want. I will never have a self-driving car. There's no way.
Yeah. I still want a Cybertruck though.
We'll get your Cybertruck,
I
man.
still want a Cybertruck. It's like, Elon, make a version of Cybertruck for me and Nick that we can just disable all incoming and outcoming messages.
There you go.
We can lock it down.
You need to have like the hood, like the exterior of the car being like what's that called? Is it called like a something cage, a Faraday cage?
Faraday cage, yeah.
Yeah. So it blocks everything out. Nothing can go out and nothing can come in. The Faraday cage.
Yeah, and like just get rid of the windows too. So like
Faraday
nothing
cage
can
windows.
yeah.
Everything is Faraday cage. You just drive around in a Faraday cage. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what though? I think you might see car companies doing that in the future, whereas like they'll have something disable phones inside the cars. Because like you look at Canada, right? It's pretty much illegal to use a phone now while you're driving, right? For the most part.
Yes.
So I'm sure there's gonna be some cars in the future that come out that will just like ban or I guess block phone signals.
Yeah, they could easily do that in a number of ways,
Yeah.
but they need to figure it out in terms of like.
I think it's scary because I think there's a lot of reasons you would maybe need to be on the phone while driving, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of different things like
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
So like, if you're driving and
But also like, you have to differentiate between the person that's driving on the phone and the person in the passenger seat. Things like there's real problems.
that's true. Yeah. So just the person driving, they're always being hit by microwaves, right? Slowly like frying them.
That's great.
But it's also frying it's stopping their phone from working.
Yes.
And then you can like direct who in the car, like if you have that annoying passenger that's always on the phone, it's like no, just
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because I think with the whole like driving while talking on the phone, I definitely understand it to some extent.
Understand what?
Like distracted driving, right? Like you want people to be 100% focused on driving.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like if you're on the phone and your hands free with somebody,
I think that's allowed.
It is allowed.
Yeah.
But there's been talks. I've been part of some meetings that were discussing potential rules on this, and there's definitely been talks of making it completely illegal, right? That's definitely been in the discussions.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like, if someone has to flip through their contact list to like call someone, you're still using your thing.
But changing your radio, right?
Yeah, with changing your radio. So there's arguments, but if it's like easy, like if it has to be like a voice activated thing, like you have to say like call whatever.
Yeah.
There's no problem with that. Like what's wrong with having a conversation? You talk with people in the car, you listen to the radio, you sing songs, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I hate driving for the most part. Like I shouldn't say hate driving. It depends on the car I'm driving, honestly, but 99% of the time, I'm not a fan of driving. Like if I have to drive to the grocery store and back, I don't care. Like I'm not a fan. Or if I have to drive to work and back and do the same trip every day, or if I have to drive to like Toronto, like if somebody else was like, "Hey, I'll drive," like okay, I'm down with that, and I'll sit in the back seat and sleep. I'm down with that. But like I feel like if I'm able to talk to somebody, right, and have a conversation with somebody, I feel like that helps me stay awake and stay kind of in the moment, right? Does that make sense? So it's like I'm still focused on the road, but I'm having a conversation with somebody, which is like helping me like be stimulated enough that I'm able to still not fall asleep, And I listen to a lot of podcasts now, like a lot of boring ones, like a lot of economic ones, and a lot of like tech and startup related ones. And I guess I haven't been listening to them on the way to work now, but when I was driving back and forth to work, that's what I would do. I would just listen to like one or two podcasts each way. But yeah, so I don't know. But again, I think there is going to be some changes to those rules when it comes to self-driving cars, right? Because now, if you're in self-driving mode, like, are you allowed to put on makeup while driving?
Yeah, we'll
You
see.
know, not saying you put on makeup while driving, but
Well, what's wrong with that?
it's like, but I've seen some people do weird stuff, man. When I used to work at the college, there's a government building like close to there, and I used to see the same guy every morning. Like, we pretty much stopped at the same light. Not every, like, always, but every time I look over, he's got a newspaper folded out. Oh, I'm not even making this up. He'd have a newspaper folded out, like over top of the steering wheel, and he'd have one hand like underneath the newspaper and kind of like supporting it and kind of holding the steering wheel up, and then the other hand was like holding the newspaper open.
That's great.
And he'd be at the light.
He's reading his newspaper.
Dude, he's reading the newspaper. The light would change, and he'd hit the gas, and like maybe I'm bad now too because I'm looking over. I'm like, what? But yeah, he's driving and he's
Right.
looking up and down at the newspaper, and he's going, I'm like, "Ugh," and here I'm getting stressed out. I'm either trying to get ahead of him or like behind
Yeah,
him,
get the fuck away from this guy.
dude.
Yeah.
But it was like consistently,
Yeah.
and he always, and again, I knew the building that he worked in because I'd seen him pull in there, and that made me really nervous.
Well, it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, the guy's an older guy. Like, I'm assuming the guy was probably in his like early 60s. That's kind of what he looked like. So he's probably been doing this for a long time.
Yeah. I think like stuff like that or whatever, but like I think like texting while driving or whatever, if you're on your phone, I think that should be like feel very harshly. I think that should be like attempted murder. Like you're driving, I don't care if you're driving in the middle of buttfuck nowhere or whatever, like you're basically saying I don't care. Like you're not paying attention. You aren't. So I feel very strongly about that. I
Yeah.
think it should be very, very like, and it doesn't make sense to have fines because fines, the way fines are structured, like
Only rich people can do it.
exactly, like
Yeah.
it should be like actually a percentage of your yearly income. I think that's how fines should work because then if it's like if it's a $200 fine for you, you make X dollars a year,
Mhm.
then that's a certain percentage, and that whatever.
That's 100% of my income.
There you go. Say, but like for someone who makes 10 times as much as you, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want it to actually mean something, I think it should either be like it should be like based on how much you generate.
Yeah. Or like blood. You have to take
Yeah.
blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a human sacrifice.
Yeah,
You have
yeah.
to sacrifice your firstborn.
Yeah. No, well, not somebody else, but it's like, it's like, oh, this is your 10th time texting and driving. It's liver time, buddy. It's
Yes. Yeah. I agree.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because part of me is like, I kind of almost want to live in the chaos and just like living in like a no rule society and just kind of see what happens. But then another part of me is like, I don't like buddy driving around reading the newspaper, right?
Man, you don't want to live in a no rules society.
A little bit. I want to see. Well, I've seen enough movies that I kind of have an idea. And I think there's some fun. Like, obviously, it's not something you want to be in all the time, but it's something you want to dabble in.
Yeah.
Want to jump in and out of the no rules.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
No, do you want another drink, man? Some water?
No, but it's probably time for me to peace out.
Do you want to go?
What time is it?
It's almost 4.
Yeah, okay, it's time.
Can I just go over some questions from the internet
Real quick.
for you?
Yeah.
We'll do some quick ones, and I think some of the ones we might have covered already.
Interweb.
I feel like a dink because I feel like I hugged you to myself too much. So we'll go through some of the quick ones. Some of them I think we've already kind of gone over here. Some of the quick ones here. So I don't know if you're comfortable talking about this one. One of them is how much money did you make in your career in the UFC?
I won't say how much I made.
Mm.
In my first fight in the UFC, I made more than I've made all my fights combined. I made pretty good money.
Oh, that was the knockout of the night one, right?
It was knockout of the night as well.
I was there for that.
Yeah. Oh, you were there? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right, you guys came down. That's
Dude.
great. Great.
I've never screamed so loud in my life.
That's awesome.
It was that was so amazing. That was
that's
so
fun.
great to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I made like my 2 fights was spread out over like 3 months, like 2-3 months. And like yeah, I made more in those 2 fights than I make now a year. That's that can.
All right, internet.
money.
Find out how much Nick makes
Yeah.
at Stats Can.
It was good money.
Or don't. Yeah.
It was, yeah, if I stayed in the UFC, I would have been just fine financially.
So next one, best and worst smelling fighter.
I don't smell fighters, so I don't know.
How about training partners?
Yes, but I can give you a training partner. There's this
And you
guy.
can't say me. I'm a smelly guy.
No,
I
no,
know.
no. I don't know the best smelling guy. That's a weird thing, but anyway.
No, I was
There was
saying
this
don't. I
guy.
was saying don't say me for the worst
No, no, no.
smelling.
It's not you. I remember at Ronin, there was this guy, and I think it's hard to believe that he would be homeless, but it's possibly he's homeless. Anyways, this guy, he looked ragged, and he came in. He only came in a handful of times, like once every like 7 months, 8 months, kind of thing. This one time, he was on top of me in north south, and I almost threw up. Like it just smelled like piss. It just smelled like piss, man. And I remember thinking, like, this guy's homeless, and I got this homeless guy's piss filled gi on my face, like
As
his
gro-
crotch in my face.
As gross as this is, I might know who you're talking about.
Anyway,
I might know.
so that I don't know who it was, but
Yeah. Okay. So nobody in particular then.
I couldn't even picture his face right now.
You're not gonna throw anybody under the bus.
No.
All right. So favorite post fight meal.
Fuck, man, I can't remember, but post weigh in, post fight. I remember like in Japan, after one fight, I ate so much after the weigh in that I threw up because I was just filling myself up. Yeah.
Like sushi?
No, because I was a picky eater back then, so I can't remember what I ate. I can't remember, but what I would do when I was cutting weight, especially like towards the end of my career when I was fighting at 135, I would sit and look at all the local restaurants wherever I was fighting, and I'd just look at their menus, and I'd be like, oh, I could eat that. And I could eat that. That's what I would do like the day of the weigh-in. Yeah, so I can't remember what the best one is, but
No.
for sure I enjoyed them,
A lot of pasta, I think, right?
Yeah. I remember like after a fight, obviously not after a weigh-in, but after a fight I'd get like cheesecake. Get some cheesecake.
We went to the Cheesecake
We
Factory.
went to the Cheesecake Factory after the
Yeah,
UFC
buddy.
fight. Fucking right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I was so full, like I was like, I'm gonna get all this cheesecake, and I couldn't even finish my cheesecake because my stomach was still small.
Yeah. Did you get the big burrito there? I don't remember if you did.
I can't remember what I got. But remember I got cheesecake, obviously.
So then, and do you have any strange pre-fight rituals that nobody knows about?
Strange pre-fight rituals. I would always wear the same boxers, even though I didn't wear boxers habitually.
So you wear briefs.
I
You're a briefs
wore-
guy.
Yeah, I don't even know what briefs are,
Yeah.
but anyways, I guess I wear
Yeah.
briefs.
Internet. Nick Denis, a tighty whitey kind of guy.
Yep. But I wore the same boxers for weigh-ins and for fights for whatever reason. I think I wore that for my first fight, and then there's like a lucky charm type thing. And I just had the same warm-up routine that I would do. But yeah, nothing weird.
Nothing crazy.
Not that I can remember.
No.
No.
I just remember that one time. I think we were cutting weight, and I think you drank orange juice,
Yeah.
and then you regretted it.
I regret it because the rest of the cut was horrible. That was stupid. I don't know why I did that. Yeah.
Let's see here. So Armin was asking. I guess it's a long one. You know what? Maybe I'll have to have you in again
Sure.
soon, and then
Yep.
we'll go through more of some of these longer ones because I think some of these are going to get pretty long. So how did you manage to split your time between getting your master's and becoming the Ninja of Love pro super MMA fighter?
Right. I was pretty lucky because the biochemistry came very easy, and like the experiments I was doing and the work I was doing were successful. So it's like if you're doing all these experiments and they fail, this puts a lot of pressure on you. But like I do an experiment and it would work, and so it would be like easy to like publish papers. So basically, I could just coast more or less.
So easy mode.
Yeah, easy mode. And so and because for biochemistry, it's basically you're working in a lab. Like you're not doing classes really. You just do a couple classes over the degree. So basically, I would just train in the morning, or I'd go to the lab, do some stuff, and then I'd go to the gym, come back. Like, and when you're doing biochemistry experiments, like you set up an experiment and it runs for like 2 hours. Like, what else am I going to do?
Yeah.
So I just go work out, and I'd come back, and then I'd, do whatever. And then I'd leave at the end of the day, go. So I'd still get in my 2 workouts a day. So it was like actually pretty ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the blueprint right there.
That's it.
That's
go to
the
grad
blueprint.
school and have your grad school fund your fight training.
That's right. And you got like a bursary or something too, I think, right?
I had a pretty good scholarship. I had like
Yeah.
it's like a 3-year, $35,000 tax-free scholarship. Plus your supervisor tops you up.
Okay.
And you don't have to pay tuition. So I was making like no taxes, 40 something grand a year as a student, which is like basically the equivalent of like, I don't know, like 80 or something.
You're pretty much the Elon Musk of students.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool,
Yeah,
man.
so I was living good. Like, yeah.
So I guess I'll try to combine a couple of these here. But do you feel like you have any kind of or any memory loss or you know what's kind of your cognitive ability now, and you think that's been impacted by fighting? And then the next one would be why'd you retire?
Well, I retired because I was worried for my brain. I'll say more about that after, but I'll answer the first question. So the answer is no.
Hmm.
I remember after I retired because I retired because I was worried about my brain. Then like anytime like I couldn't remember a word or whatever, I would like, oh my god, I have brain damage or whatever. And then I realized like you've always been like you're a human being, you know?
It's
Like
like
what's the
Nick,
name of that person?
you've always had
Like
brain damage.
yeah, it's like what's the name of that thing? It's like, and I'd be like, oh my god, it's starting. I have a brain like. So then I just chilled the fuck out. So no, there's no issues that I've noticed. And then why did I stop fighting? Yeah, basically getting hit in the head was affecting me more. So like for the most of my career, like you could just punch me full on. I'd be like, cool. Like would never hurt. I'd never even get dizzy. Like it'd be like nothing happened. And then when I was training for fights, my last couple of fights, especially my last fight, you know, like I'd get hit and I'd be like, ooh, I'd have to shake it off, you know? I was like, that doesn't seem right.
Mm.
So yeah, basically that's it.
Yeah, and actually that's one of the big reasons that I kind of stopped too is
Yeah.
why I remember me and you talked about it after you retired, and that's when I just had ankle surgery, and I wanted to jump back in, and then I remember in sparring I was getting hit. No, I never like felt like it was hurting, but I was getting hit a lot more because I couldn't move as much. And I remember me and you sat down, and you were kind of talking to me about it, and I kind of went home, and I was like, "Fuck that, man!" Like, I
Yeah.
was like, "Nick's right. Nick's right. Yeah, like why take the damage,
Yeah.
and then have it essentially be there for the rest of your life, right?"
Yeah.
So,
So like the feeling the effect,
mhm,
it's helpful because it was there, like it's in
mhm,
your face, you feel it. But then like the rational thing that also played a role was I had this rule for myself after I got knocked out in Japan, where like if I have any one more knockout or like one more concussion, like
mhm,
so it's like if I slip and bang my head in my house or whatever, then I was done fighting.
mhm,
But I realized that didn't make sense because it's like it was like binary. It's like I could take as much punishment to my head, and then as soon as I have a concussion, I'm done fighting. But there's subconcussive trauma, and it's accumulative. So you get a
mhm,
little hit in your head. You know, there's a certain number of those where those add up to a concussion.
mhm.
So I could spend a decade fighting. I could be Dan Severn, or I could be uh, fucking Mike Tyson fighting at 54 or whatever. Like never have a
Yeah,
concussion, but I could have all these like Frankie Edgar wars where that
yeah.
adds up to like it's equivalent to like 40 concussions or something like that. Then I realized that kind of rule that I told myself like doesn't make sense. It's stupid.
Yeah, and you know what? There's been guys that I've run into, right? That like were training and competing the same time that you were and that I was way back in the day, and they're still doing it now. And I've talked to some of these guys now, and they sound different. So it's like these are guys that are in like their mid 30s, right? So it's I think 30 mid 30s I think is too young to be goofy.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. So
Yeah.
it's scary. I'll try to do two more here and then
Sure.
I'll let you
Sounds
get
great.
out of here. Um, the other one was do you have any regrets from retiring?
From retiring.
Like yeah, like do you regret retiring at all? Do you have any regrets
No,
from it?
no, not at all.
No,
No regrets.
you don't miss that big red panty night.
Fighting was fun. I loved all of it. It
Mm.
was such a great ride, good experience. I loved every bit of it, and but that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no regrets, man.
Oh no, not at all.
It's awesome.
No.
Let's see if I can get one more. Sorry, there's just so many.
No, no worries.
Okay, you know what? We'll do this.
What time is it?
Or wait,
4:08.
yeah,
Okay, last one. Yeah,
yeah.
100%.
What was it like fighting in Sengoku, and how'd you get recruited to compete in the Grand Prix? And any cool stories from that?
Oh man, it was so badass. Sengoku was awesome. So how I got recruited. Okay, so at that time there was word on the interwebs that there was gonna be actually 3 different World Grand Prix. There was Sengoku, Dream, and fuck, they don't exist anymore.
Pride.
No, it wasn't Japanese. It was American.
Affliction?
No. I forget. There was another company in the States that were gonna do. They did a tournament. They did a bunch of tournaments.
Oh, was it the Whammo or something like that? They had like a pit. They had like the pit thing.
No,
That was a different one. Okay.
no, I can't remember. In any case, so for the CEO guy for the American one, I was literally emailing and talking to, and he's like, "Okay, very interesting." And so thinking about that, and for the 2 Japanese ones, we had basically because at that time, I don't know if Ronan was still BTT, like
Mhm.
BTT Canada, Brazilian Top Team Canada.
I think it was. Yeah.
They might have been. Um, in any case, we had a BTT representative like agent,
Mhm.
like Murilo Bustamante's agent,
Mhm.
literally. And so she was dealing with the Japanese organizations. And so, I knew I was going to find my way into one of those Grand Prix. It was just a matter of which one. So like, Wade would tell me, basically Wade, was like my manager and so he was like, okay, it's going to be Dream. And I was like, okay, cool, great, awesome. And then he's like, actually, no, it's going to be, Sengoku, whatever. And I wish I could remember the other name, but in any case,
Was it the Fight League or whatever?
not
IFL?
IFL. No,
No.
IFL was before that.
Yeah.
I can't remember. In any case, so anyways, it ended up being Sengoku, which was really badass, and I was really excited that it was the American one had like twice the prize purse, like twice the money, and it was an 8-man tournament, so you have less fights for more money. Both the Japanese ones were 16-man tournaments for less money, but like you think of Pride, you think of Pride tournaments, Pride Grand Prix, and I was just like, fuck, like how badass would it be to be in a Japanese, the first ever like Grand Prix for my weight class. And so yeah, when I got the news, I was fucking jacked. Wade like told me the money, and even though the money was way better than what I'd seen up until then, because I was fighting King of the Cage, it still wasn't. It's not like UFC money, but I was like, fucking awesome, yeah, I was so jacked. So that was super exciting. So that's how I got in. Any crazy stories? I met it's really fun. Every now and then I'll go on like a Dog, go down the rabbit hole, and I'll go look at like my alumni, like the other guys that were fighting at the same time as me, and I'd see and some people fight for too long and things like that. But Korean Zombie, uh, meeting him, he's awesome. He was super cool. Like, he didn't speak English. I'm guessing he's learned a bit of English since then. But like we were like fast buddies, and that was pretty cool. He was really fun. I super respected Hatsuhioki. And so it was really cool to be in the tournament with him. Yeah, the whole experience was great. Going to Japan 3 times or whatever. The culture difference was just insane. We had a buddy take care of us when we were there, Kareem Byron. He's this like 350 pounds, 6'6" black dude with super long dreads. He looks like the Jamaican dude on Futurama. I don't know the guy's name. And so like, it's like 2 white dudes and Kareem walking around Japan, and Kareem speaks like perfect Japanese. He's been there since forever. And yeah, it was just really cool experience. Weird food. They put like fried eggs on everything, all sorts of weird things. The toilets were awesome because the toilets heat up and sing songs to you, and yeah.
Sing songs?
Yeah, and that was my first time like having a bidet like spraying. I was like, oh, this is good. Yeah, all sorts of crazy things. But yeah, it was a really fun experience. Like I remember, I think it was the first time Wade and I went to Japan together, and we flew into one city, and we were going to take the bullet train to another city. Like I think we flew into Tokyo, and we are going to Osaka to meet Kareem, and we just missed like we missed the bullet train or whatever because our flight was delayed. And so we're like, what the fuck are we gonna do? Like, we're not gonna fight. So we went to some like ramen noodle place that was open 24/7, and we just like sat there all night, and like slept on the counter.
Did you
And
eat some ramen though?
I can't remember. Maybe I did. I can't remember. But in any case, I guess it's like common for like these Japanese businessmen to miss the last bullet train, Shinkansen, and so outside on the fucking sidewalk, like just this, think of like downtown wherever you live, downtown on the fucking sidewalk, are all these businessmen sleeping, holding their briefcases, sleeping, lying on their backs, and it was raining too, and they're just sleeping, like waiting for in the morning to get the next bullet train. Just like that's perfectly normal. And like I remember seeing like businessmen in Japan like wearing their business suits downtown, just like peeing in like outside of a business might have like some potted plants, like just weird things like that. Like, oh, okay, I guess that's what they do, and just weird things like that. All sorts of crazy things. Yeah.
And then didn't Boss Rutan say something?
Oh yeah,
about
yeah,
you?
yeah. Boss Rudin. Boss Rudin's fun. Yeah, Boss Rudin's funny. Hey, what did he say? He told me I didn't turn over my kicks. And then when I fought in Canada and he was commentator there, I talked to him. I was like, so boss, what did you say about me and my kicks? Like, well, am I wrong? I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah, because I remember, I think it was the Sengoku, your first Sengoku fight.
Yeah.
I think you said something about that then.
Yeah, I head kicked him. I
And then
knocked
you
him
head kicked
down.
the guy hit
I
the
him,
ground.
knocked him down, and then he was like, "Oh, I forget what he said, but like, oh, he needs to turn it over his hips a bit more to knock him out."
Yeah.
I can't remember what he said. Yeah. That was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, good memories for there.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, it's been amazing having you here. Thanks
Yeah.
for helping me kick off the podcast.
It was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me, man. It was great.
Honestly, we gotta
And
do it
nice
again.
to see you.
We gotta do it again, man.
Damn.
Boom.
Cool, man.
Awesome. Thanks again, man.
No problem.
And we'll talk soon.
XO.
Woo! XXO.
XXO.
Turn it off. There you have it. Episode 1 of the PowerStart Podcast in the bag. It was a lot of fun talking to Nick. There was a couple of audio hiccups, so I had to kind of do some hard cuts. Hopefully it's not too bad. I plan on having one of these probably every 2 to 3 weeks moving forward. Any feedback in the comments would be well appreciated. I'm just learning this stuff now, so hopefully things aren't that rough, and I hope to improve the quality of the podcast as time goes on. But yeah, so hopefully you stick around and check out the next episode. In that note, stay powerful. Yeah, so we'll talk your regular voice.
I am talking in my regular voice, baby girl, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna keep that.